Sagittarius ascendants, this video is for you, which means if you have number 9 here, or if your moon is in Sagittarius, so if you have a cluster of planets, 3 or 4 planets conjunct in the sign of Sagittarius, you should watch this video because that means you have a very powerful Sagittarius energy. Now Mercury transiting from its own sign, Gemini, from your 7th house to your 8th house. What does Mercury govern here? Mercury governs your 10th house of career and 7th house of your relationship and business partnership. And Mercury is going to the sign of Cancer and in the 8th house. I do not consider this transit as a very good transit. So Sagittarius, you need to be careful during this Mercury transit, especially if you are going through Mercury Mahadasha, Saturn Mahadasha, or even Moon Mahadasha and the Antardasha of this planet, of these planets. If you have planets in your 8th house, if you have planets in Cancer in your natal, look at your natal chart. If you have planets in Cancer in 8th house, and you're going through the Mahadasha and the Antardasha of those planets, for example, you have Sun there, and you're going through Sun Mahadasha, Antardasha, you need to again watch out because Mercury is going to pass over that and it's going to trigger certain events. So let's first understand what this transit is doing. What is Mercury? Mercury is nothing but the significator of our intelligence. It's called Buddh. Buddh means buddhi, intelligence, our communication, our logical way of looking at things. Analysis is seen from Mercury. Mercury is also the significator of business. And what is Cancer? Cancer is it's a water sign. It's a sign which has the nurturing energy of the mother. The nurturing energy where you look, where people in the healthcare industry are seen from Cancer. It's a sign of looking and looking after, about caring. It's an emotion. It's your peace of mind. It's your emotional well-being that's seen from Cancer, right? And when Mercury goes there, now that's we are combining logical thinking, numbers. So Mercury is about numbers and data, and we are putting that planet in an emotional sign of feelings. So it doesn't really do well there. Mercury, you can't put a number to emotions, right? So Mercury doesn't really do well there, right? And especially it's the 8th house, right? We all know that 8th house isn't the best house. The reason why I'm making this video is because usually Mercury takes a couple of weeks to transit out of a sign. It's very close to the sun, right? So it's not like Saturn that it sits in a house for 2.5 years. So just 2.5 weeks, Mercury is out of that particular sign. But this time, Mercury is staying there for a while. And the reason is because Mercury is going to enter the sign of Cancer. And on July 18th, so it's going to enter on 22nd of June, that is tomorrow. And then on July 18th, it goes retrograde. And it is retrograde till August 11th. And then finally on August 30th, it goes into the sign of Leo where it finds stability. Right now, this particular time period, almost 70 days, it is very unusual for Mercury to stay in a sign. Now we have to look at the retrograde period. The dates I have mentioned, July 18th to August 11th. So I see ups and downs in your career, guys. So Sagittarius, you need to be very careful with how you communicate. See, Mercury is the significator of communication and Cancer is the sign of emotions. So I've said that in my other videos for this particular transit, if it's falling in certain placements for different ascendants, even for you, since it's governing your work, Mercury governs your 10th house. You see number 6, Virgo. So there could be ups and downs. There could be sudden change of career. All right. So how you communicate with your peers and especially your boss, if you're employed or if you're a business partner, how you're talking to your business partner or your clients and customer. You could lose a customer. You could lose a certain business all of a sudden because of certain communication that did not sit very well with your clients. There could be conflict. So sudden ups and sudden downs. See, 8th house is not a very good house. All right. If your charts are very strong, if your 8th house is giving benefic results, then you could suddenly gain through inheritance or insurance, or you could suddenly get a good business deal. But we have to look at your natal chart. We must look at your Saturn transiting in your 4th house. And the reason why I'm talking about Saturn is Mercury is going to pass through Pushya Nakshatra, which is governed by Saturn. And when it passes, especially when it goes retrograde, so it will enter Pushya Nakshatra on June 25th. If you already have planets in Pushya Nakshatra, if your Saturn is there in Pushya Nakshatra, it will definitely trigger events. Let me tell you that. If you have planets in Ashlesha Nakshatra, it will again it will trigger events. So look at your chart and see how the placements are. This can also create a yoga of change of residence or some kind of conflict at home. So not the best time. Sagittarius Ascendants, I would want you to be very careful during this entire Mercury transit happening over your 8th house. Also, it could cause accident and health related issues. I don't like to scare the people, but if you're especially going through Mercury Mahadasha, Mercury Antardasha, Moon Mahadasha, Moon Antardasha, Saturn Mahadasha, Saturn Antardasha, and also Jupiter, you need to watch out for that. All right. Now, again, from the relationship front, I do not have very good news. Although Jupiter is sitting there, if your Jupiter is very, very strong in your chart, you will not have any issues, and maybe it will establish more connection, a more spiritual, in-depth connection with your partner. But Mercury also governs your 7th house of relationship and business partnership. And that going to the 8th house can again cause conflict with your partner, with your spouse. So communication, emotional outbursts. So if Mars is involved, if Mars is in your 7th house, if your 7th house is not very strong, okay, or if your Mercury is afflicted by Mars or Saturn or Rahu is also there in your 8th house, you need to be very, very careful in how you're dealing with your partners, because like I said, sudden events can be seen from the 8th house. Transformation, when transformation can be sudden or it can be gradual. But since Mercury is a fast moving planet, it can cause immediate transformation. Suddenly you have a conflict and your partner moves out, or suddenly something happens and you have to leave your home. All these things can be seen. So you need to be very logical and careful about how you're dealing with your relationships and your work during this time, especially if you're going through if you're going through Mercury, or if you have Mercury conjunct with your Lagna Lord, or Saturn is involved in some ways, you need to watch out. All right. From the finances, again, it's not the best time. But if you're into any kind of industry which is to do with research, social media, communications, because it's going to transit 11th from it, so it can give you gain from anything to do with occult, astrology. Great time to enhance knowledge about astrology, about research, about evolving yourself as a spiritual being, about reconnecting with your gurus. This is a very, very good time for introspection. All right. Instead of taking decisions, it's a time to look inside and see how you can grow as a human being, and then you will get fantastic results. See, Jupiter is also looking at your Lagna Lord from the 7th house. All right. Now, this placement of I've made several videos on the transit. This particular transit of Jupiter can trigger marriage as well. So, this particular transit, I would like you to watch out for these couple of months and then take any decisions. Signing any documents, be very careful, especially if you're signing any documents for your property, land, or your vehicles, because Saturn will play a very, very significant role till the time Mercury is in Pushya Nakshatra. It transits out on July 7th and goes to Ashlesha, where it is, I consider it to be stable, but this particular transit of Mercury can definitely trigger transformation, and hopefully the transformation is for your good. All right, so that is what I have for you, Sagittarius. Let us know in your comments so that the other Sagittarius can also resonate. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to learn Vedic astrology from the scratch, I'm starting a course on July 27th. Feel free to enroll. Refer this to your friends and family as well. All right, if you need a consultation, my information is right here. I will talk to you soon. I wish you all the best. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.